Hey, welcome back to the Texas Longhorn Football Channel. I am your host, Anwar Richardson. Before we get too far, I got two requests of you. Just hit like because it's so easy to do. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. I am trying to get us to the point of Ryan's toy reviews. I want to be able to travel the world like Ryan and do all kinds of cool stuff. So hit subscribe. Make sure you share this video. Share so many crazy stuff on social media. Stop arguing with your friends about politics. Let's talk sports and have some fun stuff, okay? So share it with your friends because I think this is going to be a tremendous video. I'm really excited about this. Let me set it up because you guys see Kyle Zorn on the other side. You're probably like, who the heck is Kyle Zorn? I haven't seen this guy before. Give me a second. So when we've talked about, and we've talked a lot about Arch Manning and the Arch Manning effect, and we've talked about the football thing on the field, right? That's kind of what we focused in on. We've talked about him getting 9 recruits as we record this on a Friday on July 1st, 9 recruits since Arch Manning has announced that he's coming here. We've talked about the excitement of what it's been building among Longhorn fans. And we've talked about the potential impact, what it could mean on the field. Quinn Ewers coming, then Quinn Ewers here, Arch Manning coming next, and all the other kind of stuff. But what we really haven't discussed, and this is, I'm telling you, it's going to be a fascinating conversation. We haven't talked about certain things like how it affects maybe your wallet, how it affects ticket prices. And Kyle Zorn is here. He's the brand manager of TickPick. That's TickPick, where they sell tickets. And by the way, I didn't know this up until my producer told me this. TickPick is a great place to buy tickets from because they don't have service fees. No service fees. So when you go to all to these other places, I'm not going to name their names and get anyone mad, but you go to all these other places to buy your tickets, they tag on fee after fee after fee after fee. Your $100 ticket ends up being $150. TickPick eliminates all of that for you. By the way, they're not a sponsor. I'm just saying, I'm just shouting them out because this is amazing. I know where I'm getting my tickets from going forward. But Kyle Zorn, it actually will be able to break down what that Arch Manning effect is going to mean for ticket prices, for Texas fans, for college football fans in the future. And I just want to bring him in. And Kyle, first of all, I'm excited that you're here. I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate having me on.
So Kyle, give me like a general understanding when you start thinking about the Arch Manning effect, and when you guys at TickPick start kind of crunching the numbers, kind of start us off from there. Like, what kind of impact do you think this has on ticket prices? Whether it's in the now or in the future.
Yeah, no, for sure. So football is interesting in that it's not as star driven where you look at the NBA, it's purely star driven. There's only a few names in football that can really impact prices. When you think about Tom Brady when he left New England and went to Tampa Bay, we saw a massive spike. And now we're seeing something similar with Arch Manning. When he committed to Texas, saw a spike in activity for tickets overall, ticket prices went up. And now when he does join the team, those ticket prices are going to be probably the most expensive in college football. And there are few players that can do that. The quarterback is the one position that will in football. And Arch Manning is certainly having that effect right now.
So give us an idea when you say that the prices would go up. Give us an idea of where prices are at this moment, and then what you foresee and project like it will potentially be when Arch steps on campus. I kind of want to get like a comparison here.
Yeah, for sure. So it's interesting. Like if I give you an overall average purchase price, it
Okay.
might. So I want to break it down a little bit. So right now the average purchase price is like $150 for a ticket to a Texas football game next season.
Mhm.
But you have to take into account two of those games are two of the most expensive games this season, Bama and Oklahoma. But then you look at the get-in price to attend the Texas Alabama game is around $300. But then Texas Baylor is around $10. So
Mhm.
it's a big up and down. But when you look at it, so 2 years ago, the average purchase price for a Texas football game was around $60. So right now, it's already nearly doubled, almost tripled, just for in the last year or so. And when he does come onto campus, so if it's around $150 now, I'm expecting at least another 50% jump when he does come onto the team.
So, it's interesting. So when he comes on the team, and by that time, by the time he starts, Texas is potentially in the SEC. Okay,
Yep.
so you talked about right now, there's not a lot of marquee games, the Bama game, the Oklahoma game, and there's a lot
Yeah.
of it's one of the reasons why Texas wanted to move into the SEC to have some more marquee games.
Yeah.
It's an idea of like what a Texas Ole Miss could potentially look like with Arch playing against the family legacy in some ways.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's one of the factors that I didn't mention is them going to the SEC is going to have a huge impact. The obviously winning helps. It's one of the biggest factors, but then the competition. When you're playing in the SEC, all those marquee matchups is just going to add to the overall cost to attend one of these games. Obviously, they'll mix in a few games where you'll get that $10, $20 ticket price, but going to the SEC is the biggest division in football. Going to have a huge impact on prices. If they're winning, it's only going to add to that. And yeah, that Ole Miss game I'm excited for as well. It's a cool storyline.
Do you think that the prices increase for the SEC opponents when Arch travels there? Do you think it's only on the Texas side of things? Like I'm sure, like for instance, LeBron, right? Whenever
Yeah.
LeBron shows up, a San Antonio Spurs price, when they play against any other team is going to be cheap. LeBron shows up and it's probably double. Does it become like that on the road when Arch travels?
I think it's going to be slow to start. So I think if they do start winning, then you're going to see that spike in demand. But I do think for overall Texas in general, you're going to see that spike. But when they go on the road, if they start to win, if they start to build some hype, I do certainly think that'll have an effect.
So give me a number. I want to pin you down. Give me a guesstimate as to what you think those prices could be, with Texas at home versus when they go to play Alabama or some other the premier teams. Like whatever you think now, whatever your metrics are, where do you think it could be?
That's a good question. So I think Texas, Alabama, I think will easily be the most expensive game when they do play. So I mean, obviously they're playing next season, but I think you're probably going to see a get-in price around $400 for when he does come onto campus, and obviously when he starts playing.
So if that's that, then what is Ole Miss? Is Ole Miss about the same as well? I mean, if you had to guess that one?
Well, so Ole Miss is interesting. The storyline's going to be there. It's obviously they're playing his brother's former team, so it's not his brother. I'm sorry, getting that mixed up. But I think you're going to probably see around 200,
uncle and grandpa.
Yeah. So I think probably around $250 for Ole Miss. I mean, that's probably, I would say, fair to say.
So right now, did you guys? I'm just kind of curious from a college perspective.
Yep.
Have you guys projected? Was there any other athletes in any other sports that came in and that you guys projected that there would be a huge increase in ticket prices, or is Arch kind of like the first where you've said, "Oh my gosh, we're projecting it's going to look like this in the future"?
Yeah, I mean, Arch is the first player in a while. It's we have heard his name for years now, and so it's he is probably the biggest impact on college football prices, especially going into the next few years. So he's the guy.
Okay, all right. That does this one of the come on the last things that do you think season ticket prices go up? If you're a Texas Longhorn fan and you buy season tickets and you've had tickets for the last 20 years or so, do you project that probably goes up for season ticket holders as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's you bring in that type of caliber player, one of the hottest recruits in a long time. I certainly think those season tickets are going to go up.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else relevant or that you or stats that we haven't discussed that you feel like, hey, I want to make sure we touch on this topic before we end the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously ticket prices are going to be high. There's going to be hot in demand, but I think if you're a fan and you want to get a great deal, we always have tickets on our site. So I think like if there's any game in the future, wait until like maybe a few days before, see how those prices. Usually they'll drop down before. Just trying to. Usually we have a price event tracker on our site, so you can see how prices are moving. Just so if you are interested in attending a game, you can follow those prices and hopefully get the best deal if you are looking to attend one of those games in the future.
Go ahead and last one. Go ahead and tell us more about the company. Give us the promo and tell people how they can find you guys and get the tickets.
Yeah, so I work for TickPick. We're a ticket marketplace. We sell tickets to every live event, sports, music, theater, etc. We don't charge service fees. How we make money is we charge the seller commission. Competitors charge seller and buyer. So for the same tickets, we have the best price. But yeah, you can find us www.tickpick.com. We have an app, iOS and Android. But yeah, we're growing quickly. Would love for anyone to check us out, and appreciate you having me on.
Kyle Zorn, the brand manager at TickPick. We appreciate it. We'll definitely be talking soon when you can nail down those prices, and then at least Texas fans know where to go in order to at least avoid some service fees for what looks like it's going to be some pretty expensive tickets in the future. Kyle Zorn, thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching the channel. We'll have more good interviews like this in the upcoming future. Until then, you guys take care.